Hello, I'm Donald E. Pickett, author, producer, and developer of Cedar Knob Nexus. What you're about to see is not a conventional real estate project, and it's not a standalone media venture. Cedar Knob Nexus is a vertically integrated mountain ecosystem being built in the southern Appalachian region of western North Carolina. It combines land stewardship, hospitality, wellness, experiential tourism, media production, creative infrastructure, and long-term value creation into one coordinated platform. This vision did not appear overnight. It represents the convergence of decades of experience across real estate, construction, operations, event production, storytelling, branding, and audience development. At its core, Cedar Knob Nexus is built around a simple philosophy: create meaningful places, build real assets, generate authentic demand, and compound value over time. The platform begins with land, protected ridgelines, infrastructure-ready property, and strategically positioned hospitality assets. But beyond the land itself, the system is designed to create something larger: a destination, a cultural identity, and a long-term experiential ecosystem. Integrated into the platform are original intellectual property systems, including Basically Done, WebWeave Nexus, and Pix Hideaway Players, audience and storytelling layers designed to drive engagement, visitation, awareness, and long-term participation. And I'm only getting started. This creates a unique flywheel where media supports hospitality, hospitality supports audience growth, and audience growth reinforces the long-term value of the ecosystem itself. The result is a development strategy designed not simply for short-term transactions, but for long-term platform creation. A place rooted in nature, built with purpose, and designed to evolve for generations to come.
Cedar Knob Nexus is not being built as a traditional mountain development. It is being designed as a vertically integrated ecosystem where land, hospitality, media production, storytelling, and long-term asset creation reinforce one another. At the center of this strategy is a phased AI-enabled production system built directly into the mountain platform itself. Phase 1 begins with a rugged mobile production studio, a fully functional rolling content engine capable of creating films, interviews, podcasts, documentaries, live streams, and social media campaigns directly from the road or from the property itself. This first phase acts as both a launch engine and a marketing engine. Phase 2 expands into a boutique soundstage integrated directly into the Cedar Knob ecosystem. This creates a permanent production base capable of supporting original storytelling, branded content, music production, educational media, and AI-assisted film development. Phase 3 transforms the natural landscape itself into a cinematic production environment. The forests, ridgelines, roads, trails, streams, cottages, and mountain atmosphere become integrated backlot assets. The location itself becomes part of the content. Finally, Phase 4 allows optional scaled expansion into a larger AI-assisted production ecosystem, capable of supporting multiple productions simultaneously. But the larger strategy is not simply media production. The media system exists to drive awareness. Awareness drives audience. Audience drives visitation. Visitation drives bookings. Bookings drive revenue. Revenue expands the land platform. This is not content built after the development. The content engine is being integrated into the foundation of the platform itself. Cedar Knob Nexus is structured as a long-term cultural and economic ecosystem where story, place, hospitality, and production continuously reinforce one another.
The western North Carolina mountain market is experiencing a major structural disconnect. Demand continues to rise, but much of the available hospitality inventory remains fragmented. Visitors are forced to separate their experiences across multiple disconnected destinations. One place for lodging, another for dining, another for wellness, another for entertainment, another for nature. The experience becomes fractured. At the same time, many developments are becoming increasingly overbuilt, crowded, commercialized, and disconnected from the authenticity people are actually searching for. Consumers are shifting away from purely transactional tourism. They increasingly want immersion. They want meaningful places. They want emotional connection. They want privacy, nature, creativity, wellness, and cultural authenticity integrated into a single destination. That is the gap Cedar Knob Nexus is designed to solve. Rather than building another isolated resort or another generic subdivision, Cedar Knob Nexus integrates multiple experiential layers into one connected ecosystem. Hospitality, nature immersion, wellness, cultural programming, storytelling, creative production, community, identity. The objective is not maximum density. The objective is maximum experiential value. This creates a destination capable of generating stronger emotional attachment, longer visitor engagement, premium positioning, and long-term brand defensibility. Cedar Knob Nexus is not designed to compete through volume. It is designed to compete through depth, uniqueness, and integration.
Walnut Hills and Cedar Knob sit inside one of the strongest migration and second home corridors in the Southeast. This is not speculative growth. The Highlands, Cashiers, Lake Glenville, Franklin, and western North Carolina region has already established itself as one of the most desirable mountain destinations in the country. The corridor benefits from multiple converging forces: affluent retirees, remote workers, second home buyers, wellness tourism, experience-driven travelers. At the same time, major metro markets like Atlanta, Charlotte, Greenville, Tampa, Orlando, and South Florida continue pushing demand toward mountain regions that offer cooler temperatures, lower density, natural beauty, and lifestyle flexibility. Cedar Knob Nexus sits directly inside that movement. But unlike heavily saturated luxury markets, Franklin still offers a rare pricing window. This creates a unique opportunity. The platform can acquire, activate, and position land at substantially lower entry pricing, while benefiting from the demand gravity generated by the Highlands Cashiers Plateau. The result is a powerful asymmetry: lower acquisition basis, strong regional demand, limited future supply, increasing lifestyle migration. The market is already moving. Cedar Knob Nexus is positioning itself directly in the path of that movement.
More than 150 acres positioned between Franklin, Highlands, Cashiers, and Lake Glenville. But this is not simply raw land. The platform already includes substantial infrastructure: platted lots, road systems, underground utilities, shared well systems, protected ridgelines, established access. At the same time, over 100 acres remain preserved as high-elevation, conservation-oriented green space. This combination is increasingly rare. Most developments either maximize density or preserve land. Cedar Knob Nexus is designed to do both strategically. Selective development activates value. Protected land preserves long-term desirability. The platform combines conservation, hospitality, cultural programming, wellness, media production, and experiential tourism into one integrated ecosystem. Every component strengthens the others. The protected land elevates the value of the home sites. The media system expands audience reach. The hospitality system creates recurring visitation. The creative infrastructure builds brand identity. The result is not simply a subdivision, it is a scalable destination platform.
One of the most valuable assets within Cedar Knob Nexus is not what will be built, it is what will remain protected. The Walnut Creek Conservation Easement preserves over 100 acres of high-elevation southern Appalachian ecosystem, protected forests, watersheds, streams, rare plant species, wildlife habitat, natural ridgelines. This preserved landscape creates multiple layers of long-term value: environmental value, lifestyle value, brand value, scarcity value. In a market increasingly dominated by overdevelopment, preserved land becomes more valuable over time. The conservation strategy protects the emotional experience of the property itself: privacy, quiet, view sheds, natural immersion, dark skies, wildlife. The easement also strengthens the surrounding home sites by preserving the landscape that gives them premium appeal. Rather than treating conservation as a limitation, Cedar Knob Nexus treats preservation as a strategic asset. The mountain remains the product, and protecting the mountain protects the future value of the platform.
Cedar Knob Nexus is structured as a controlled land monetization ecosystem, a phased platform where each layer generates revenue, increases equity, and funds the next stage of expansion. The system begins with activation, small-scale hospitality, eco-lodging, experiential stays, outdoor amenities. These initial phases create visibility and cash flow while preserving the long-term integrity of the land. As revenue stabilizes, the platform expands into cottages, home sites, studios, wellness amenities, and additional experiential infrastructure. Each layer strengthens the platform. The land supports the experience. The experience drives visitation. The visitation creates revenue. The revenue expands the ecosystem. Importantly, Cedar Knob Nexus is intentionally low density. The strategy is not maximum occupancy. The strategy is premium positioning through scarcity, immersion, and environmental quality. This creates stronger long-term pricing power while protecting the emotional experience of the destination itself.
The Highlands, Cashiers, and Lake Glenville corridor has become one of the most supply-constrained luxury mountain markets in the Southeast. High-end buyers continue moving into the region seeking privacy, elevation, views, climate relief, and long-term lifestyle positioning. Premium homes in the corridor routinely reach into the multi-million-dollar range. At the same time, buildable premium land continues becoming more limited. Cedar Knob Nexus positions itself inside this demand corridor while maintaining a significantly lower acquisition basis than neighboring luxury markets. The strategy is not to imitate generic luxury development. The strategy is to create emotionally distinctive mountain environments with stronger authenticity, stronger environmental integration, and stronger experiential identity. Protected ridgelines, nature immersion, wellness integration, craftsmanship, storytelling. This allows Cedar Knob Nexus to position homesites and future residences within a premium category while still benefiting from value asymmetry created by Franklin's current pricing structure. The platform is not chasing the market. It is intentionally positioning ahead of it.
Bella Vista Nexus Landing functions as the front door activation point for the broader Cedar Knob ecosystem. Positioned directly along the Franklin corridor, Bella Vista captures visibility, traffic flow, tourism movement, and regional accessibility. The site is designed to act as both a hospitality anchor and an operational management hub. It captures visitors before they ever reach the mountain. This location benefits from multiple converging demographic shifts: remote work, lifestyle migration, flexible travel behavior, short-term experiential tourism, wellness-oriented consumers. At the same time, Franklin continues emerging as a gateway destination serving Highlands, Cashiers, Lake Glenville, and the broader southern Appalachian corridor. Bella Vista leverages this positioning to create a year-round activation environment. Dining, lodging, music, wellness, events, community interaction. The objective is not simply overnight stays. The objective is relationship building. Bella Vista becomes the first touchpoint, the first impression, the operational conduit, the cash flow engine, and ultimately, the bridge connecting regional demand to the larger Cedar Knob ecosystem.
The Western North Carolina vacation rental market continues demonstrating strong pricing power across multiple lodging categories: luxury cabins, boutique stays, eco-retreats, experience-driven properties. Demand remains elevated because the region offers something increasingly difficult to find: natural beauty, climate appeal, mountain immersion, privacy, authentic environments. At the same time, inventory constraints continue limiting supply in the premium market. Cedar Knob Nexus is intentionally positioned within this high-demand corridor. But unlike traditional vacation rental projects focused solely on occupancy, Cedar Knob Nexus emphasizes experiential depth. Guests are not simply renting a cabin. They are entering a curated environment: trails, conservation land, disc golf, wellness, music, events, creative culture, storytelling. This layered experience increases emotional attachment and strengthens long-term pricing power. The objective is not to compete at the low end of the market. The objective is to create a destination experience people specifically seek out.
Cedar Knob Nexus is not dependent on a single use case. That is one of the platform's greatest strategic strengths. The land supports multiple reinforcing value pathways simultaneously: hospitality, luxury home sites, wellness retreats, creative production, conservation, educational workshops, destination tourism, event programming, media production, experiential lodging. Each component strengthens the overall ecosystem. This flexibility creates resilience. If one sector slows, the platform still benefits from multiple additional revenue and value channels at the same time. The integrated nature of the ecosystem creates stronger defensibility. The value is not isolated to one asset. The value emerges from the relationship between the assets: the land, the audience, the hospitality, the story, the identity. Cedar Knob Nexus is not being designed as a short-term flip. It is being structured as a long-term legacy platform capable of evolving across multiple economic cycles.
Most mountain destinations focus on only one part of the experience. Luxury lodging, retreat centers, vacation rentals, event venues. But consumers increasingly want integrated environments where multiple experiences exist together. Cedar Knob Nexus combines hospitality, nature immersion, wellness, cultural programming, and experiential living into one coordinated destination. This creates several structural advantages: longer visitor engagement, higher emotional connection, greater pricing flexibility, increased repeat visitation, stronger long-term brand identity. The platform is intentionally designed around low-density, high-experience positioning. The goal is not maximum unit count. The goal is maximum experiential quality. That positioning becomes increasingly valuable as surrounding regions continue experiencing development pressure and experiential fragmentation. Cedar Knob Nexus is competing through integration, not through scale alone.
Cedar Knob Nexus is built around a very different philosophy than mass-market hospitality. This is an intimacy-based destination, a low-density, high-quality environment intentionally designed around emotional experience rather than maximum throughput. The platform limits scale deliberately. That constraint is strategic. Smaller scale allows deeper immersion, greater privacy, stronger environmental integration, higher experiential quality. Guests are not processed through the property. They become connected to it. The environment encourages slower interaction, nature, music, wellness, conversation, creativity, reflection. This creates a stronger emotional relationship between the visitor and the destination itself. In a world increasingly dominated by overstimulation and overdevelopment, scarcity of experience becomes a premium asset. The limitation becomes the advantage.
Cedar Knob Nexus is guided by a simple but powerful strategic thesis: land stewardship, boutique hospitality, technology-enabled storytelling, experiential value creation. These systems reinforce one another. The land creates the environment. The environment creates the experience. The experience builds audience. The audience strengthens the brand. The brand increases long-term asset value. The platform is intentionally designed around permanence rather than short-term extraction. Conservation is not an afterthought. It is foundational. Storytelling is not separate from the project. It is integrated into the identity of the ecosystem. Hospitality is not simply lodging. It is relationship creation. This combination creates a rare asymmetry: real estate, media, experiential tourism, creative production, audience generation, all reinforcing one another within a single coordinated system.
Bella Vista Nexus Landing is the activation front door of the Cedar Knob ecosystem. It is designed to perform 4 major functions simultaneously: activation, management, infrastructure, cash flow. This is where the public first encounters the platform. A destination-driven hospitality environment positioned directly inside the regional traffic corridor. Bella Vista captures visibility and converts awareness into engagement. Dining, music, events, wellness, short stays, social energy, local in-town footprint. Operationally, it also functions as a centralized management and logistics backbone supporting broader ecosystem operations. The location allows Cedar Knob Nexus to establish recurring revenue earlier while the mountain platform continues expanding. This creates a strategic advantage. The front door activates first, the audience develops first, the revenue stabilizes first, then the larger ecosystem scales behind it. Bella Vista is not a side project. It is the engine that helps accelerate the entire platform.
Cedar Knob Nexus is not only a land development platform, it is also an intellectual property ecosystem. Stories, characters, music, technology, media, experiences. At the center of this ecosystem sits Basically Done, a trunk narrative designed to branch into multiple future storylines, productions, and audience channels. Alongside it exists the WebWeave universe, a technology and storytelling infrastructure designed to support AI-assisted content creation, audience engagement, and long-form world-building. Pix Hideaway Players adds a parallel music and cultural layer that strengthens emotional identity and audience connection. Together, these systems create a larger storytelling engine tied directly into the Cedar Knob platform itself. The land becomes part of the story. The story drives curiosity. Curiosity drives audience. Audience drives visitation. This creates a rare feedback loop between media, hospitality, real estate, and experiential tourism. One story, one ecosystem, one destination.
The AI studio strategy inside Cedar Knob Nexus is intentionally grounded in real assets. This is important. The project is not dependent on speculative technology hype. The land itself already carries intrinsic value. Infrastructure, protected ridgelines, hospitality potential, luxury home sites, conservation positioning. The media and AI systems act as multipliers layered on top of an already valuable foundation. This creates asymmetrical upside. The hard asset floor already exists. The storytelling and production systems create additional scalability, audience growth, brand visibility, franchise potential, content monetization, licensing. The AI systems also increase operational efficiency, editing, production, content scaling, marketing, distribution. But the core thesis remains simple. The technology serves the ecosystem. The ecosystem is not dependent on the technology.
Cedar Knob Nexus is being designed around measurable operational intelligence, occupancy, revenue, audience behavior, guest retention, marketing performance, operational efficiency. The objective is to build a lean but highly informed operating system capable of improving performance over time rather than relying solely on intuition. The platform integrates real-world data into strategic decision-making, which experiences drive the highest engagement, which visitor segments convert best, which marketing channels produce the strongest long-term customer value. This creates continuous optimization that the platform learns, adjusts, improves. Importantly, this data intelligence is not separated from the physical environment. It directly informs hospitality operations, content strategy, event programming, and future expansion. The result is a more adaptive ecosystem capable of scaling intelligently while protecting experiential quality.
The Basically Done book tour operates as more than a traditional author tour. It functions as a rolling media and audience-building platform directly supporting the long-term growth of Cedar Knob Nexus and Sugar Fork Legacy. Through interviews, live streams, podcasting, documentary content, creator collaborations, and live appearances, the tour continuously generates promotional visibility while developing authentic relationships with readers, supporters, investors, creatives, and potential long-term patrons of the project. The mobile studio itself becomes part of the experience, transforming the tour into a traveling content engine, producing ongoing media and brand awareness directly from the road. Importantly, Basically Done places the property on an entirely different level than a conventional development. The land becomes connected to story, identity, creativity, and cultural permanence. Rather than existing as simply another mountain project, Cedar Knob Nexus evolves into a recognizable cultural environment tied to original intellectual property, media production, music, storytelling, and long-term audience engagement. The narrative strengthens the destination, and the destination strengthens the narrative.
Content inside the Cedar Knob ecosystem is not treated as marketing alone. It is treated as infrastructure. The process begins with story creation, films, music, podcasts, documentaries, educational content, behind-the-scenes production. That content then flows into distribution channels, streaming, social platforms, direct audience channels, email lists, membership systems, community platforms. The audience itself becomes an owned asset. This matters because audience ownership reduces dependency on traditional advertising systems and third-party gatekeepers. As engagement grows, monetization expands. Memberships, events, experiential tourism, hospitality, media licensing, sponsorships, workshops. Most importantly, the content continuously feeds awareness of the physical destination itself. Story drives audience, audience drives visitation, visitation drives revenue, revenue expands the platform.
The Cedar Knob production infrastructure is designed as a phased, scalable ecosystem. It begins small, a mobile studio platform capable of producing real content immediately, then expands into dedicated production environments, a carriage house studio, a Lot 29 studio, eventually a full AI-enabled production campus. Each phase supports the next. Importantly, the infrastructure scales alongside actual demand. This avoids overbuilding while allowing long-term expansion. The production ecosystem supports multiple functions simultaneously. Film creation, music production, podcasting, editing, live streaming, educational media, marketing assets. As the audience grows, the production system grows with it. This creates a long-term media engine directly tied to the land platform itself. The result is a rare integration of hospitality, conservation, storytelling, production infrastructure, and experiential destination development. Cedar Knob Nexus is not being built as a static project. It is being built as an evolving ecosystem, a place, a platform, a story, and a long-term vision for what integrated mountain development can become.
Cedar Knob Nexus is built around a vertically integrated operating model. The objective is simple: control more of the value chain, reduce fragmentation, compound long-term value. Most developments outsource critical systems, construction, hospitality, marketing, content, Operations. Audience generation, Cedar Knob Nexus integrates these systems together under one coordinated platform: land acquisition, revenue activation, hospitality, media, audience growth, expansion. Each stage reinforces the next. This creates stronger operational control, lower dependency on outside systems, and greater long-term scalability. The platform is not designed as disconnected projects. It is designed as one coordinated ecosystem where every layer strengthens the others.
Macon 1 functions as the operational backbone behind Cedar Knob Nexus. Its purpose is to create retail-level value using wholesale-level cost structures: materials, equipment, site execution, hardscaping, infrastructure, landscape systems. By vertically integrating sourcing, deployment, and operational coordination, the platform gains significant efficiency advantages. This reduces dependency on fragmented contractor systems while improving scheduling, cost control, and execution quality. The objective is not simply cheaper construction. The objective is smarter construction, more control, more coordination, more retained value.
One of the hidden advantages inside the Cedar Knob ecosystem is operational capability. The platform already controls significant physical infrastructure: construction equipment, site development tools, material handling systems, logistics infrastructure, and property maintenance systems, production infrastructure. These are not theoretical future assets. They are real operational tools supporting actual execution. This matters because operational readiness dramatically increases development flexibility while reducing dependency on outside vendors. The platform is not starting from zero. It is building from an active operational base already connected to the land.
Most developments stop at physical construction. Cedar Knob Nexus is attempting to build something deeper: cultural identity, narrative continuity, emotional meaning. At the center of this philosophy is the belief that story itself creates value: the novel, the media, the music, the mythology. These are not side projects. They are part of the long-term cultural foundation of the platform. Places with strong emotional identity tend to build stronger long-term loyalty, recognition, and legacy value. Cedar Knob Nexus is being designed not simply as a development, but as a place people remember.
Multiple consumer segments are already moving toward the exact conditions Cedar Knob Nexus is designed around: wellness travelers, experience-driven consumers, technology-curious audiences, luxury retreat guests, artists and creators, corporate retreats. These audiences increasingly seek immersive, emotionally meaningful environments rather than generic tourism products. They value privacy, authenticity, nature, story, creativity. Cedar Knob Nexus aligns directly with those behavioral shifts. This creates broad multi-segment demand while maintaining premium positioning.
The Cedar Knob ridgeline forms the geographic and emotional centerpiece of the entire ecosystem. High elevation, protected land, long-range views, conservation positioning. The ridge system combines premium home sites with permanently protected green space. This balance creates rarity. Development exists alongside preservation. The result is a mountain environment that remains visually and environmentally intact while still supporting selective value creation. This is legacy land positioned for long-term stewardship.
Cedar Knob Nexus operates through a coordinated value flywheel: strategic land acquisition, controlled construction, accelerated build systems, early revenue activation, asset monetization, capital recycling, expansion. Each layer strengthens the next. This coordinated execution model allows the platform to reduce inefficiencies common in traditional development systems. The objective is to compound value over time through integration and operational discipline, not through speculative overextension.
Operational visibility is critical to long-term platform performance. Cedar Knob Nexus integrates real-world metrics across hospitality, operations, customer engagement, and financial performance. Occupancy, revenue, guest engagement, operational efficiency, audience growth, marketing conversion. The platform is structured to learn and improve continuously. Better visibility creates better decision-making. Better decision-making creates stronger long-term outcomes.
Cedar Knob Nexus combines land conservation, hospitality, media, and creative production into one cultural ecosystem. The objective is not only financial performance, it is cultural permanence: music, storytelling, nature, experiential gathering, regional identity. The mountain itself becomes part of the cultural experience. The landscape is not a backdrop, it is part of the narrative.
Cedar Knob Nexus is designed to operate locally while thinking globally. The platform combines regional Appalachian identity with scalable digital storytelling and media distribution. The objective is to connect one physical place to a much larger audience ecosystem, one mountain, one story engine, connected to the world.
Walnut Hills is not positioned as a standalone real estate transaction. It is the foundational layer of a much broader integrated platform. Hospitality, media, audience generation, experiential tourism, creative production, long-term asset appreciation. Each layer contributes to a larger compounding ecosystem. The land supports the platform supports the audience supports expansion.
Cedar Knob Nexus sits at the intersection of several major market shifts: wellness travel, experience economy growth, applied AI curiosity, cultural authenticity, luxury destination demand. These demand drivers are converging. Cedar Knob Nexus is positioned directly where those behavioral shifts overlap. The result is a diversified demand structure capable of supporting multiple revenue channels simultaneously.
The Cedar Knob operating system is designed as an integrated AI-assisted management platform. Bookings, customer engagement, property operations, financial tracking, event management, marketing. The objective is not unnecessary complexity. The objective is operational coordination. Technology acts as connective tissue between the multiple layers of the ecosystem.
Cedar Knob Nexus is intentionally creating relationships before the transaction. Story introduces the audience. Awareness creates curiosity. Engagement creates emotional connection. Visitation builds trust. Trust creates long-term participation. This pathway transforms audience into ownership participation over time. The relationship starts long before purchase decision.
The current Walnut Hills and Cedar Knob land position already supports an estimated long-term development potential of well over $25 million based on the existing master plan alone. However, several key surrounding tracts present strategic acquisition opportunities that could significantly strengthen and expand the overall ecosystem. The objective is not uncontrolled expansion, but targeted acquisition of adjoining mountain access and commercially viable parcels that improve infrastructure positioning, hospitality potential, privacy, and long-term development flexibility. These acquisitions would help evolve Cedar Knob Nexus into a larger integrated resort and storybook village environment, while increasing long-term control and value of the surrounding mountain platform.
The Basically Done book tour strategy is designed to build relationships before entering the plateau market. Florida audiences already maintain deep emotional and lifestyle connections with Western North Carolina. The strategy leverages that existing relationship corridor. Story, curiosity, invitation, experience, connection, ownership participation. This creates a long-term audience pipeline built around emotional familiarity and destination trust.
Cedar Knob Nexus operates through a multi-channel audience strategy. Content, experiences, hospitality, events, storytelling, media. Each layer reinforces the others. The marketing engine is not dependent on one platform or one campaign. It functions as a compounding ecosystem where awareness, engagement, and visitation continuously feed one another.
Every ambitious project carries risk. Cedar Knob Nexus approaches risk through layered mitigation strategies, phased deployment, controlled scaling, integrated revenue channels, operational flexibility, conservation positioning, audience ownership. The platform is intentionally structured to reduce dependency on any single revenue source or market cycle. The objective is durable, long-term resilience.
The first-year capital strategy is designed around phased activation, infrastructure, hospitality activation, residential construction, media systems, operational readiness. Capital is deployed incrementally across interconnected layers of the ecosystem. The objective is controlled execution. Revenue-generating systems activate alongside development rather than waiting until full completion. This creates momentum. Revenue supports growth. Growth supports valuation. Valuation supports expansion. Cedar Knob Nexus is not structured as a one-time project. It is being built as a compounding long-term platform. The first-year capital strategy is designed around phased activation, infrastructure, hospitality activation, residential construction, media systems, operational readiness. Capital is deployed incrementally across interconnected layers of the ecosystem. The objective is controlled execution. Revenue-generating systems activate alongside development rather than waiting until full completion. This creates momentum. Revenue supports growth. Growth supports valuation. Valuation supports expansion. Cedar Knob Nexus is not structured as a one-time project. It is being built as a compounding long-term platform.
Walnut Hills is designed as a core operational asset inside the larger Cedar Knob ecosystem. The sales strategy combines real estate, hospitality, media, and audience development into one integrated growth platform. The objective is not one-time transactions. The objective is recurring value creation.
The Cedar Knob AI Film Campus strategy combines physical infrastructure with scalable digital storytelling. The system evolves from mobile production into boutique sound stages, natural backlot integration, and future scalable studio operations. The mountain becomes both a destination and a production environment.
Walnut Hills is not being designed around invasive smart home dependency. The residential philosophy prioritizes owner control, privacy-first infrastructure, resilience, and physical reliability. Technology serves the homeowner, not the other way around.
The Cedar Knob valuation model is built around real assets: land, infrastructure, hospitality systems, operational equipment, creative infrastructure. The platform is intentionally structured to compound value over time while maintaining a disciplined asset basis.
The lot strategy inside Cedar Knob Nexus focuses on controlled absorption, selective release, strategic value creation, vertical build arbitrage. The objective is to strengthen long-term pricing rather than flooding the market. Scarcity and quality work together to support appreciation.
Lot 7 represents a phased amenity activation strategy. Pond construction, experience layering, outdoor gathering, landscape enhancement. Rather than building everything at once, the project compounds value incrementally while strengthening the guest experience.
Lot 35 is positioned as a defining destination amenity within Walnut Hills with direct green space access, infinity edge pool, clubhouse environment, summit level views, integrated social experience. The Summit Hub becomes both an amenity and a signature emotional anchor for the platform.
The Cedar Knob Trail System is designed around guided movement and experiential immersion. Trails, disc golf, scenic overlooks, destination pavilions. The objective is to create an interactive mountain experience that increases engagement while preserving the natural environment.
The Cedar Knob AI Film Campus strategy combines physical infrastructure with scalable digital storytelling. The system evolves from mobile production into boutique sound stages, natural backlot integration, and future scalable studio operations. The mountain becomes both a destination and a production environment.
The capital strategy is designed around phased liquidity pathways: development, stabilization, refinance, selective monetization, long-term hold. The platform supports multiple pathways for investor participation and eventual capital realization.
Walnut Hills is integrating hempcrete as part of a broader strategy focused on durability, environmental stewardship, and long-term building performance. The material supports thermal efficiency, breathability, resilience, and healthier indoor environments. The goal is not novelty. The goal is better long-term construction, with an end product with a lifespan measured in centuries, not decades.
The Cordwood Cottage system combines engineered simplicity with scalable deployment. The structures are designed for efficient construction, mountain durability, and long-term operational practicality. The result is a repeatable flagship build system aligned with the Cedar Knob ecosystem philosophy.
The workshop system transforms construction itself into an experiential and educational platform. Participants learn, build, engage, and potentially become future buyers. The workshops create economic activity while simultaneously expanding awareness and community participation.
The financial projections reflect a phased development strategy. Early years focus heavily on infrastructure creation and asset development. Revenue expands as operational systems stabilize. The model is intentionally structured around disciplined reinvestment and long-term value creation rather than short-term extraction.
The capital stack is designed around disciplined deployment. Funds move into infrastructure, hospitality activation, media systems, and revenue-producing assets. Revenue activation supports refinancing and long-term expansion. The strategy compounds value over multiple phases rather than relying on a single exit event.
Cedar Knob Nexus is intentionally designed for people seeking a more intentional environment. The covenant emphasizes stewardship, respect for the land, balanced technology, cultural expression, and community responsibility. This is not designed as a mass-market destination. It is designed around depth of experience.
The Cedar Knob AI Film Campus strategy combines physical infrastructure with scalable digital storytelling. The system evolves from mobile production into boutique sound stages, natural backlot integration, and future scalable studio operations. The mountain becomes both a destination and a production environment.
The operational model uses disciplined cost controls tied directly to revenue scaling. Variable expenses rise with occupancy while fixed operational systems remain lean and efficient. This creates a more adaptive and sustainable operating structure capable of supporting long-term platform growth.
The Florida Audience Pipeline forms a long-term behavioral conversion corridor. Awareness leads to visitation. Visitation creates emotional attachment. Repeat experiences create loyalty. Loyalty creates ownership participation. The strategy transforms audience engagement into long-term ecosystem alignment.
The execution timeline is structured around rapid activation and scalable expansion. System setup, pilot production, distribution launch, audience scaling, platform expansion. The objective is continuous momentum from day one through long-term ecosystem growth.
The expense structure is intentionally conservative and scalable. Operational costs align with occupancy, growth stages, and phased deployment. The strategy prioritizes flexibility, operational discipline, and sustainable long-term expansion.
Bella Vista Nexus Landing operates as both a hospitality asset and a management platform. Restaurant operations, guest services, events, music, lodging, experience programming. The location functions as a revenue-generating front door tied directly into the larger Cedar Knob ecosystem.
The event strategy creates year-round demand generation. Music, nature events, seasonal programming, workshops, retreats, gatherings. The objective is consistent engagement across all seasons while strengthening repeat visitation and brand identity.
The WebWeave mobile studio functions as a rolling production and audience building platform. Film production, podcasting, live streams, interviews, social media. The studio creates content directly from the road while simultaneously building relationships and expanding visibility.
Traditional studio systems carry massive overhead and operational complexity. Cedar Knob Nexus uses a leaner production model, mobile systems, natural environments, integrated infrastructure, lower overhead, faster deployment. This creates a more flexible and scalable production ecosystem.
Bella Vista Nexus Landing benefits from favorable commercial zoning and adaptable land use positioning. The location supports phased hospitality activation with a clear operational pathway from concept to execution. The infrastructure foundation already exists.
Bella Vista Nexus Landing combines multiple strategic strengths: location, demand corridor positioning, hospitality integration, experience-driven design. The SWOT framework identifies both opportunity and risk while supporting disciplined execution and operational awareness.
Bella Vista Nexus Landing supports multiple liquidity pathways: ecosystem refinance, selective asset sale, strategic partnerships, operational integration. The property functions both as an operational asset and as a contributor to broader ecosystem valuation.
The wellness program introduces spa, recovery, sauna, and decompression experiences directly into the Bella Vista ecosystem. This expands guest engagement while increasing revenue diversification and premium positioning. Wellness becomes both an experience layer and a strategic revenue contributor.
The micro-resort model targets modern travelers seeking curated short-stay experiences, van life travelers, small RV guests, weekend escapes, outdoor-focused tourism. The strategy creates efficient land use while supporting recurring experiential tourism demand.
The craft beer strategy focuses on small batch, high margin, experience-driven production. The brewery integrates directly into the hospitality environment while strengthening guest engagement and repeat visitation. The emphasis is local identity, operational efficiency, and premium guest experience.
After initial operations, expanding into a full lodge with spa, functioning as the signature destination anchor for Bella Vista Nexus Landing. Integrated hospitality, dining, entertainment, wellness, gathering spaces. The lodge will a high-impact experiential centerpiece designed to support premium positioning and long-term destination identity as a premier in-town resort.
The NOI and DSCR framework demonstrates how stabilized hospitality operations support long-term refinancing and valuation positioning. Occupancy, average daily rates, revenue layering, operational discipline. These systems work together to create a stronger long-term financial profile.
The Macon Nexus valuation model combines hospitality, residential sales, experiential assets, and future expansion potential into one integrated projection framework. The objective is not speculative inflation. The objective is coordinated value creation tied to actual phased execution.
Grant opportunities are viewed as additive support systems rather than foundational dependencies. Potential funding channels include sustainability initiatives, workforce training, tourism infrastructure, arts programming, and rural development support. The project is designed to function with or without grant participation.
The investor retirement framework combines liquidity, flexibility, with long-term value stabilization, refinancing, asset appreciation, revenue generation, selective monetization. The platform supports multiple pathways depending on investor objectives and market conditions.
The current long-term vision for Cedar Knob Nexus is centered around operational growth, stabilization, and strategic refinancing rather than a forced exit strategy. As the ecosystem matures, future pathways may include institutional refinancing, DSCR-based lending, recapitalization, structured equity participation, or long-term operational ownership supported by a professional management team. However, the platform is intentionally designed to remain flexible as market conditions, opportunities, and long-term strategic positioning evolve over time.
The Macon Nexus valuation model combines hospitality, residential sales, experiential assets, and future expansion potential into one integrated projection framework. The objective is not speculative inflation. The objective is coordinated value creation tied to actual phased execution.
Cedar Knob Nexus is not structured as a conventional development. It is a vertically integrated mountain ecosystem combining land stewardship, hospitality, media production, audience generation, wellness, culture, and long-term experiential value creation. Every layer supports the next. The land supports the experience builds the audience drives demand. Demand strengthens the platform. One ecosystem, one long-term vision, built to grow, built to last.
In closing, Cedar Knob Nexus is not being built as a short-term project or a speculative concept disconnected from reality. It is being developed as a long-term mountain ecosystem rooted in real land, real infrastructure, real operational potential, and real audience development. The foundation already exists. Protected ridgelines, infrastructure-ready land, strategic positioning within one of the strongest mountain corridors in western North Carolina. A platform capable of evolving through hospitality, residential development, wellness, media production, experiential tourism, and long-term destination growth. What makes Cedar Knob Nexus different is not any single component. It is the integration of the components together. Land stewardship, hospitality, culture, storytelling, audience generation, creative infrastructure, operational scalability, long-term experiential value creation. Every layer strengthens the next. The land supports the experience. The experience builds the audience. The audience drives demand. Demand strengthens the ecosystem. The strategy is designed around disciplined phased execution, long-term operational flexibility, and asset-backed value creation rather than dependency on a single outcome or isolated transaction. And while the vision continues to evolve, the core objective remains consistent. Build something authentic. Protect the land. Create meaningful experiences. Develop long-term value responsibly. And establish a destination capable of growing for generations to come. Cedar Knob Nexus is ultimately about more than development. It is about creating a place people remember, a place people return to, and a platform capable of leaving a lasting legacy in the Southern Appalachians.